say good morning. Welcome to JDB's Morning Cap. Today is Thursday, April 16th, 2026. And we're getting ready for the NBA playoffs. NBA playoffs is 2 days away. So we're down just 2 more total spots to get into the final spot of the play. We're down just the final 2 spots for the postseason, for one by each conference. So I hope we're gonna have an exciting day, exciting not just next couple of days, probably a monster weekend. We have NBA playoffs. We have Wrestlemania 42 in Las Vegas in 2 days. This is a huge step for this week on JDB's Morning Cap. So we will. I know how much I'm looking forward to that. It's been a crazy week on this show. I mean, we've been seeing it quite a whole lot in the past few moments of this one. So we'll see how this one is gonna do there. All right, let's kick off this show. Let's kick off this one. We got Magic squaring off the 76ers. The win in your in situation last night between the Magic and the 76ers. So they have to the team who, let's see who finds out who came up top last night. It was a hard-fought matchup between these two teams. The 76ers. So who led the way? Tyrese Maxey with 31 points, 6 assists. Yes. And as Kelly Oubre Jr. had 19 points for the 76ers, Edgecombe has 19 points as well. Paul George had 16. And Andre Drummond had 14 on the night as well. As the Philadelphia 76ers with a 109-97 win over the Magic, which means the 76ers, not only they're heading to the playoffs, they earned the number 7 seed to face the number 2 seed, the Boston Celtics, this Sunday in Boston. Rematch from 2023 East semifinals when the Celtics took out Philadelphia in 7 games. So they're going to be without Joel Embiid, but can the Sixers play hard in this series against a top leverage, championship leverage team, the Boston Celtics? So let's talk about what happened last night between the Magic and the 76ers. When I talk about that game last night, it was absolutely intensity game. It was intense and physical game last night. They were talking a lot of trash. There was chippiness and all that stuff. There were technical fouls. I mean, you just been talking about. We just been talking about every step of the way, and no questions asked. Do you think the Sixers had a chance to deserve to be in the playoffs coming into the season? Yeah. Yes, they deserved it. Even the injuries, even if they've been going through a lot of injuries and all that stuff and suspensions. The Sixers team is twice as better than they were a year ago. But the Sixers have been the 7th seed for the second time over the last 3 seasons. They've been in the play-in tournament for the second time over the last 3 seasons. So, with Joel Embiid being out for parts of the postseason, I'm not sure if Joel Embiid is coming back. So if Joel Embiid decides to come back later in the series in the first round, that's not a problem because it feels like Philadelphia has a chance to make this team happen. But that thing is not going to work. But that's okay because it felt like there's several teams they can put them in a prime position to get into the playoffs. Now that's that. And that was that because it felt like there's a lot of stuff you can go back and Maxi and Edgecombe and Oubre and George. Someone else has to step up with some of these guys have been injured. But at times, Sixers team is just pretty less than productive. As long as you generate productive, impactful minutes, you got to put yourself on the floor. But it really helps to see how Philadelphia compared out. Was it pretty? Was it their prettiest game last night for Philadelphia? It wasn't necessarily pretty. It was a hard fought game. Meanwhile, for Orlando Magic, a disappointing loss last night. They're not eliminated just yet. They're still alive for the eighth seed. Magic will host the Hornets tomorrow. I'll save that one for tomorrow. But Orlando Magic, Desmond Bane did have 34 points and 4 made three-pointers. He led the way. But unfortunately, this team never came up top because of turnovers and lack of three-point shooting. They shot 26% from three, 7 for 27. They shot 41% for the field, 33 for 81. As far as free throws, they were 24 for 31. They missed 7 free throws, which is 77% at the line. I mean, you're not going to be okay with those numbers with a 12-point loss. It was close for much of this contest. And if I ask the same question, Orlando doesn't have enough firepower to get the deep playoff run. If they miss the playoffs, it could be disaster if they miss the playoffs. If you're Orlando Magic, Charlotte is better than you. Atlanta is better than you. In fact, they won 4 games against you. The Hawks have won 4 games against the Magic in the regular season. I mean, it really matters right now because it felt like Orlando has a pretty good chance to still in the mix for the 8th seed. But should they lose the home play-in tournament this Friday against the Charlotte Hornets, Magic will be favored at home against the Hornets this Friday. Magic might be 4.5-point favorite against the Hornets. Hornets want to be underdog for the entire postseason. They should be underdogs. Hornets could be underdogs the entire postseason if they make it. So, I mean, it really differentiates themselves because of that. But Paolo Banchero shot 7 for 22 from the field, 0 for 5 from downtown. He scored 18 points. He committed 6 turnovers. just uncharacteristic performance for Paolo Banchero. So if he does it again tomorrow, then the Magic could miss the playoffs. So they're in danger to miss the playoffs if they lose tomorrow night against the Hornets for the battle for the 8th spot of the Eastern Conference. The winner will face the Pistons this Sunday. So the Sixers will play the Celtics on Sunday. I'll preview that game tomorrow. So we're going to keep that in mind. All right, let's move on. When we come back, we'll talk the Warriors and the Clippers. It was a epic thriller in Los Angeles last night. And then Wrestlemania match rankings from 10 to 1. Who will be your top 10 best matches at Wrestlemania of all time? And then I'll preview WrestleMania 42 for the major matches that I'm going to see this weekend, including 2 monster main events at WrestleMania in each of those 2 nights. So we will step aside in about a couple of minutes. All right, welcome back to JDB's Morning Cap as the Clippers battled against the Warriors in SoCal yesterday. So the Golden State Warriors overcame in a halftime deficit. The Warriors were down as many as 13 points in the game. As the Warriors came back and beat the Clippers 126 to 121, despite the Warriors commit 20 turnovers, and they shooting 62% at the line, which is 13 for 21 from the line. So the Warriors finished 57% from the field, and the Warriors move on to face the Suns to determine who will be the 8th seed, and they'll earn the right to face the number 1 seed, the Oklahoma City Thunder. So the play-in tournament for the 8th seed will be on Friday in Phoenix, Arizona. All right, so here's the question for this. Did the Warriors accidentally pull off the upset against the Clippers? Well, I would say this is an accident victory for the Warriors. They actually pull off the upset against the Clippers on the road. And that was a huge win for the Warriors to knock the Clippers out of the playoffs. I mean, this has got to be shocking because at one point it was 108 to 99 Clippers with 6:37 to go. In the final 6 minutes and 36 seconds left, in the final 6:36 remaining, the Warriors outscored the Clippers in the final 6 minutes and 36 seconds left. 27-13. They finished a 27-13 run by the Warriors in the final 6:36 left to play. And they made 7 or 8 threes over that span during that final 6 minutes and 36-second stretch. I mean, that's shocking. That, to me, it's really shocking, because it felt like the Warriors are going to get blown out. But I'm surprised they actually won that game. Steph Curry had 35 points, 7 3-pointers made. Kristaps Porzingis had a nice game, 20 points, 3 3-pointers. Gui Santos, 20 points, 2 3-pointers, 6 rebounds and 5 assists. So, and Al Horford had 14 points and 4 made threes. Al Horford actually saved the Warriors' season. Al Horford made huge threes down the stretch to save the Warriors' season. Al Horford clearly saved the day because of that. And now they're going to move on to face the Phoenix Suns to determine who will be the 8th seed of the Western Conference, and to earn the right to face the number 1 seed of Oklahoma City Thunder on April 19th. So these two, Warriors and Suns, will face off each other on Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern p.m. in the East Coast. So I feel like Golden State has a pretty good shot to earn the number 8 seed. I don't trust the Suns at this point. They suffer their collapse, late season collapse for Phoenix. I'll talk more about that tomorrow as it develops here. So this is really tough for the Clippers. Let's talk Clippers for about as many minutes I can. The Los Angeles Clippers finishing the season 42-40, but unfortunately, no playoffs for Los Angeles Clippers. A disappointing end to the season. Despite the fact they started the season 6-21. Actually, that 6-21 through 27 games, through the first 27 games, actually haunt their playoff chances. It clearly haunt them, because the Clippers, like I said, I thought the Clippers are going to make the playoffs. They look like they're the best team to get in and have a pretty good chance to make a deep playoff run. They just blew it last night. They blew it. Kawhi Leonard, they didn't get Kawhi Leonard a ball a whole lot. He only had 2 points in the second half. Kawhi Leonard only scored 2 points in the second half. 19 of his 21 points were in the first half. 2 of them since halftime. Darius Garland had 21 points, 8 assists. But Kawhi Leonard had 5 turnovers. Just really uncharacteristic second half, uncharacteristic fourth quarter for the Los Angeles Clippers. I mean, if it wasn't for Bradley Beal's injury, they would have moved on to the second round of the play-in tournament and have a pretty good chance to earn the number 8 spot in the West. But losing Bradley Beal for the Clippers proved them costly. I mean, the Clippers have 17 turnovers as well. A really disappointing outcome for the Los Angeles Clippers last night. Despite they shot 52% from the field, they shot 40% from downtown, which is pretty good, 14 from 35. They were perfect at the line, 17 for 17. They did not miss a single free throw. And Clippers had 15 steals last night. So they just did not. They end up outscored by the Warriors by 5 points in a grand total of this game. Like I said, Clippers were up 108-99 with 6 minutes and 36 seconds to go. They had a pretty good chance to. They had a high win probably was about 82%, something like that. 82% chance to beat the Warriors in 6 minutes and 36 seconds left. And then the Warriors going on a massive 27-13 run in the final 6 minutes and 36 seconds left. Hurt the Clippers' potential playoff chances. Really, it's a big missed opportunity for the Clippers. It is a big missed opportunity. I mean, now they gotta figure things out in 2026 offseason. Where is Tyronn Lue going to go for? Will he remain as Clippers head coach in 2026-27 season? Will Kawhi Leonard be traded this offseason? Is this the end of the era? Will Bradley Beal? I know Bradley Beal is going to be coming back and remain as a Clipper, but I love Kawhi Leonard to death, man. He's a hell of a player. He's won 2 NBA Finals, 2-time NBA Finals MVP. I mean, the good thing is he's been healthy most of the year. He's been healthy for most of the year. That's a good sign for the Clippers star Kawhi Leonard. They just can. So Clippers getting snubbed to the postseason in last night's 5-point loss. It's absolutely devastating. Absolutely devastating because of that. So things just isn't changed at all. So it just doesn't work because it felt like there's teams that they can go around with it. It's really hard to see this one there. All right, coming up, we'll rank top 10 best WrestleMania matches of all time. And then we'll preview some of the major matches at WrestleMania 42. WrestleMania 42 is 2 days away, so we are ready ready for a big fight on Saturday and Sunday. We will step away in about 2 to 3 minutes at the very least. So we'll be right back, y'all. Welcome back to JDB's Morning Cat. We're down just the top 10 best WrestleMania matches of all time. So before we start this top 10 thing, I just want to say WrestleMania is 2 days away. I know how excited I am. WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas for the second year in a row. I mean, last year was a pretty good trip. For this year, maybe even better. We'll see the big stars, the biggest stage, the grandest stage of them all. I mean, we've seen so many iconic stars over the past 4 decades, over 4 decades of WrestleMania. John Cena, Randy Orton, The Undertaker, Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Hulk Hogan, Randy Macho Savage, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair. And the list goes on and on. So we've seen some WrestleMania icons in their prime history of wrestling. So I'm going to start number 10. Number 10, we have Randy Orton versus Triple H versus John Cena. As the Royal Rumble winner was John Cena in 2008. It was WrestleMania 24. It was a triple threat WWE Championship match. And Randy Orton was a current WWE champion at the time. The storylines between Orton, Triple H, and Cena, this has got to be one of the high anticipated storylines in the history of WrestleMania. John Cena had rivals with Triple H. John Cena had rivals with Randy Orton. John Cena had rivals with Triple H. We've seen several matches between Randy Orton versus John Cena, Triple H versus Randy Orton, John Cena versus Triple H, and John. So we've seen everything to go one on it. These three members were part of the ruthless aggression and attitude era crossover. These three have been at least WWE champion since at least 2005 or 2004 or something like that. They were world champions since 2004. These three men were at least the world heavyweight champion at least since 2003. These guys have been the three-headed monsters for quite some time. And Randy Orton, the Legend Killer era was impressive. Before the Viper era began in the middle of 2008, that's when the Legacy era began with Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr. That's when the Legacy era began. They started the feud with the McMahon family and Triple H. And John Cena. John Cena won the 2008 Royal Rumble. He returned from a significant injury. He missed time, and he came back to the Royal Rumble and won it. It happened. It is not the only time it happened when they returned for injury. John Cena came back from injury in 2008 and won a Royal Rumble. Edge did it in 2010. He had surgery, came back in 2010 Royal Rumble and won it. Unfortunately, both of them, they lost him at WrestleMania to earn the world title matches. So, Randy Orton defeated John Cena and Triple H to retain Randy Orton's WWE Championship. I mean, it was a great match overall. Overall, it was a great match. It was a great triple threat WWE Championship match. I mean, they were battled every single minute of the match. It's something, but Orton's victory delivered a punt kick to Triple H after Triple H pedigreed John Cena. So it was a wild finish at WrestleMania. At this time around. Number 9, Ric Flair. Number 9 is The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, Part 1, WrestleMania 25. I mean, the first time it wasn't quite intense between The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. I thought it was at first, but in the early the early parts of it, it was intense early on before the WrestleMania 25 situation. It didn't. It wasn't quite intense the early part of the match, but it was intense later in the match. They've been exchanged punch to punch, chest to chest, head to head. I mean, The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, it was considered a high leverage. They consider high leverage wrestlers. The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, they've been battled so hard to win that match. Because of that, we've seen a handful of uphill battles. And we've seen so many great moments in their WWE careers. But The Undertaker got the best of Shawn Michaels to remain undefeated at WrestleMania. Number 8, Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24. It was Ric Flair's career-threatening match. Shawn Michaels facing Ric Flair at WrestleMania 24. They were friends for a long time, although Shawn Michaels tried to warn Ric Flair about ending Ric Flair's career. And we just been talking about it. Ric Flair has dealing with career-threatening matches, not just in pay-per-views, on Raw and SmackDown. We've seen several of those. Many either superstars refuse to force Ric Flair's retirement, which wrestler will put the stop to it. It was a great battle between Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair at WrestleMania 24. But Shawn Michaels sweet chin music to Ric Flair and pinned Ric Flair to end Ric Flair's career. And Ric Flair would have to retire at WrestleMania 24. That's not a surprise. Because of that, those matches are plain and simple. Number 7, The Undertaker versus Triple H, WrestleMania 27. The first one, I think it was an incredible match. But bodies have been super collided between Undertaker and Triple H. Undertaker got injured during the match, and he still comes through in the clutch. He tombstone Triple H, and he pinned him 1, 2, 3, and Undertaker remained undefeated. Undertaker goes 19-0 at WrestleMania to keep his undefeated WrestleMania streak going. So it was a great match. We've seen a bunch of, that match was pretty much extreme right from the beginning of the match. Number 6, John Cena versus Batista at WrestleMania 26 for the WWE Championship. Batista was a WWE champion at the time. So John Cena won a WWE champion at Elimination Chamber. When Mr. McMahon came out, Batista actually, I already said that stuff already, did I? Yep, I did. hold on. Who's number 6? It's not John Cena versus Batista. Hold on. Number 6 is actually Batista versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 23. So I just changed it. So Batista was a world heavyweight champion at the time. Batista was a world heavyweight champion at the time. The Undertaker won the 2007 Royal Rumble to earn the right to face Batista. It was a tense. It was tense. We see two daunting superstars. Batista and The Undertaker match was unbelievable. It wasn't a main event. And we talk about The Undertaker, about his streak. The Undertaker was 14-0 at the time at WrestleMania. But that's the difference right now. When The Undertaker and Batista, these two have collided time and time again. They've been battled during WrestleMania 23, and then after WrestleMania, they've been battled again and again and again and again. The Undertaker defeated Batista to win the World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, it was an incredible match. There's no getting around it. But that was a great moment for them. Number 5, John Cena versus JBL at WrestleMania 21. JBL is known as John Bradshaw Layfield. John Bradshaw Layfield was a WWE champion at the time, when John Cena faced JBL for the WWE Championship. These two were on SmackDown at the time. And John Cena had a bunch of battles against JBL, not just in WrestleMania 21, elsewhere in the WWE. I mean, he battled so many underrated legends or underrated superstars over the years. John Cena and JBL were friends outside the ring, but they're rivals inside the ring. I mean, these two have given them flowers and the support what they need, but there's plenty of it. There's plenty of it they can really always use. Now we could see several of those. And I can really see how this is going to work out for the best. John Cena ended up beating JBL to win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 21. It was a great match. Number 4, Batista versus Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30 in a triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Randy Orton was a WWE World Heavyweight Champion at the time. Batista won the 2014 Royal Rumble. And Daniel Bryan beat Triple H at WrestleMania to earn the right to join Randy Orton and Batista in a triple threat match. So who came up top of that match? Batista, Randy Orton, or Daniel Bryan? Before I answer that question, I mean, Daniel Bryan is an underdog of wrestling. He is a great underdog of wrestling. He's not gonna wow you. He's not gonna eye pop you, but he's gonna find ways to win matches when they need him most. So Daniel Bryan defeated Randy Orton and Batista. Daniel Orton tapped Batista out on a label lock on Batista. Daniel Bryan won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match in a triple threat match at WrestleMania 30. That was in the main event. That was a great match between these three men, excuse me. Number 3, Triple H versus The Undertaker, WrestleMania 28, Hell in a Cell, and end of an era match. Shawn Michaels was a special guest referee in Miami, Florida. This has got to be the greatest WrestleMania lifelong match you'll ever see. The legend, the most iconic match of all time was Triple H versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 28. End of the era Hell in a Cell match with Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee. And all three are all Hall of Famers. Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, and the game, Triple H. I mean, it was intense in every second of the match. They battled every minute of the match. They claw every minute of the match. They scratch every minute of the match. We've seen chokeslam, pedigree, tombstone, sweet chin music, last ride. The list goes on and on. We've seen several kickouts during that match. We've seen a couple of stolen finishers from Triple H, but both were kicked out in the same sequence. But it turned out The Undertaker beat Triple H to remain undefeated at WrestleMania to go 20-0, despite it was a hard-fought battle. And Undertaker was injured again at WrestleMania 28. So he couldn't walk off the ring in his own power. He refused to. Number 2, this is even better. The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 26. Streak versus career. The Undertaker's streak was on the line. Shawn Michaels' career was on the line. So, which one would I prefer better? I would say the career should be on the line against Shawn Michaels. The odds were against Shawn Michaels because The Undertaker have his numbers last year, the previous years. And then the next year, Shawn Michaels' career life is on the line. And Undertaker's streak is on the line. I don't think his streak will come to an end. I don't think Shawn Michaels completely saved his career. I don't think he did. So it turned out The Undertaker beat Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 26 to end Shawn Michaels' career. And Undertaker went 18-0 at WrestleMania. I mean, it was a great moment. It was a cool match. Streak versus career. It's going down as the best stipulation in the WWE history. Had The Undertaker lost, his streak would have been over. But The Undertaker remained undefeated at WrestleMania. And finally, the best match I ever saw of all time. The Rock versus John Cena at WrestleMania 28, once for a lifetime. The Rock, John Cena versus The Rock. The Rock was performing in his own hometown, Miami, Florida. Uh, when John Cena met The Rock in 2011, it was WrestleMania 27 last year when The Rock hosted. John Cena had to face The Miz for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. The Miz beat John Cena to keep his WWE Championship thanks to the rock bottom by The Rock. So, and then John Cena did partner up with The Rock at Survivor Series to face The Miz and R-Truth. Both Cena and The Rock were victorious over The Miz and R-Truth. And John Cena got rock bottom by The Rock again because these two will see each other at WrestleMania. When The Rock returned to Raw on February 27, 2012 to confront John Cena for the first time since he rock bottomed to John Cena, it feels like these two completely hate each other in the ring. These two completely hate each other. They've been dissing at John Cena, dissing at The Rock every single week. And then they had the Rock concert, and then a final confrontation before WrestleMania 28 match. And then during the WrestleMania 28 match, it was really intense. Every second of the match. Every minute of the match. It was really incredible. John Cena had a chance to go for the people's elbow on The Rock, but it was denied. The Rock bottoms John Cena and earns the victory at WrestleMania. And John Cena was shocked at the end of that match. So it was a great match over. It was a incredible match. We've seen that all over it in this one. All right. So when we come back on JDB's Morning Cap, we'll talk WrestleMania 42. We'll preview the WrestleMania 42 match between nights 1 and 2. So I'm going to look some of these match cards for one of those two nights, and then which matches for night 1 and night 2 that I'm looking forward to it. So we'll step away in about 3 minutes. All right, so WrestleMania 42 is 2 days away. All right, so we're going to start WrestleMania night 1. I'm going to choose the 3 major matches I'm going to look forward to. First one, I'm going to go with AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. AJ Lee is a Women's Intercontinental Champion here. So, let's talk about AJ Lee real quick. AJ Lee did not make her WWE debut until 2011. But she struggled in ring ability. She struggled early on. Since 2012, she gets better. She got better at it. She start to win matches, and then her first ever feud in her career was Celeste Bonin, as known as Caitlyn. And she won her first championship. She won the Divas Champion. That was not the only time she had a feud with. She had a feud with Paige. She had a feud with one of the Bella twins, either as Brie or Nikki Bella. She also won the Divas Champion. She's a 3-time Divas Champion. At the time. And then she decided to retire in 2015 because of her neck injury. She didn't come back until 10 years later. She came back in September when CM Punk AJ Punk, the AJ Lee, is the wife of CM Punk. AJ Lee returned to attack Becky Lynch, and then CM Punk and AJ Lee teamed up against Rollins and Lynch in a WrestlePalooza. Both Lee and Punk were victorious that match in September. I believe it was either September or October, something like that. And then the feud continued. The feud actually began between Lee and Becky Lynch. The Women's Intercontinental Championship took place at Elimination Chamber, and AJ Lee defeated Becky Lynch. However, after AJ successfully defended her Intercontinental Championship against Bayley on Raw last month, Becky Lynch did invoke her rematch clause against AJ Lee at WrestleMania. So, do you think AJ has a chance to come up top against Becky Lynch? I believe so. I think she's still got a chance to do it at this point on. This next one, it'll be Seth Rollins versus Gunther in a singles match. Seth Rollins was a masked man to victimize at the Chamber. When he came back from injury, he wants vengeance against Gunther, and he wanted it that way. I mean, we've seen so many tense moments every single week between Rollins and Gunther. I mean, these two were rival. These two had their issues over the years since Gunther joined the WWE. But it felt like there's a lot of. It's just gonna be a tense. It's not a major storyline, but it's just enough that storyline to have more tense. So, who do you think who should win the match, Seth Rollins or Gunther? I think Gunther is going to come up top over Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is not 100%. I think Gunther will come up top and beat Seth Rollins at this time around. All right, so here we go. This is a huge one. WrestleMania Night 1 main event. Cody Rhodes defends his undisputed WWE Championship against Randy Orton. Keep that in mind. If Randy Orton loses, Pat McAfee will leave the personal wrestling industry permanently. So odds are probably against Orton. The odds are against Randy Orton at this point on. How Randy Orton got to WrestleMania. Randy Orton won the 2025 Men's Elimination Chamber match. He eliminated Cody Rhodes. Drew McIntyre was a champion at the time. And then Cody Rhodes faced Drew McIntyre for the WWE Undisputed Championship on SmackDown. Cody Rhodes won that match. And then Randy Orton will challenge Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. And then during the contract signing match on SmackDown, Randy Orton gave his final hug to Cody Rhodes before Randy Orton attacked Cody Rhodes. He attacked Cody Rhodes, and then Randy Orton officially turned heel in the process. First time Randy Orton turned heel since the last time Randy Orton turned heel was a heel wrestler was 2021. That was the last time Randy Orton was a heel wrestler at that time. And then Jelly Roll confronted Randy Orton. And then Pat McAfee returns, and he turns heel on Cody Rhodes. So Pat McAfee will be Randy Orton's corner. Well, that is a huge, huge, huge one right there. So who do you think comes up top on Saturday? I think Randy Orton should beat Cody Rhodes. I think Cody Rhodes' pressure is on the line as well. So I think Randy Orton will beat Cody Rhodes on Saturday. So WrestleMania Night 1 is on Saturday, April 18th. All right, so let's take a look at the other three. WrestleMania night two will be April 19th, which is this Sunday. So who I choose the top three? First one, I'm gonna go Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's Championship. Jade Cargill is a women's champion right now. I mean, for Jade and Rhea Ripley, these two now have their intense rivals. Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. Ripley was part of the Judgment Day with Dominic Mysterio and Damian Priest and Austin Theory. We've seen several members who could be in this one here. But Jade Cargill, she came from AEW to the WWE. Now she's won. Now she becoming a women's champion. I mean, these two women are gonna collide soon enough at WrestleMania. And there's nothing better than usual. You really want to see that happening. But it really doesn't matter when you come all these moments. So who do you think who comes up top? I think Jade Cargill will retain her WWE Women's Championship. Number two, how about Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar? These two men are really mean as hell. These two monsters, it's going to be a big fight between these two guys, Femi and Lesnar. I mean, these guys are just playing, they're just playing absolutely out of their hearts. But it just doesn't see how many guys you can play with, but this is a problem now. When you guys just playing a super amount of confidence, but Lesnar and Femi have gone toe-to-toe in every single week. I mean, these two will put on the show every single time. And on that note, I believe Brock Lesnar will win the match. And that's for sure. This is a big situations. You go there. And finally, number one, night two main event. It will be CM Punk will defend his World Heavyweight Championship against the 2026 Royal Rumble winner, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. These two have gone toe-to-toe since Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble. CM Punk, now the world champion. I mean, this match is gonna be a bunch of flair dramatics. I guess we'll have some flair dramatics because of that. This is no different, no slouch. But Roman Reigns and CM Punk, there are the longest reigning WWE champions in their history, in the WWE history. These two have a very good history. The two longest reigning champions in the modern era. I mean, there's none of those things we've been talking about. Who's going to put on the show every single night? And there is not much of questions asked. Because of that, it's a golden difference. But you do have a chance to go for it and make it this winner. Who do you think who comes up top, Roman Reigns or CM Punk? I think CM Punk comes up top once again. I think CM Punk comes up top at this point on. So we're gonna get that ready, get this thing ready to go. This one here. All right, let's wrap things up here. Tomorrow we'll preview Magic and the Hornets, determine who will be the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. And then we'll preview the Warriors and the Suns, determine who will be the 8th seed in the Western Conference. And then we're also going to preview 76ers versus Celtics in the first round. That's on Sunday. On Saturday, and then I'll preview the Raptors and Cavs 5 versus 4 matchup. That game will be on Saturday. Hawks versus Knicks 6 versus 3 matchup. I'll preview that. That game is on Saturday as well. So all NBA segments for JDB's morning cap is tomorrow. So we will see how that is going to go here today. But it should be really excited at this point. You're going to love it in this one there. Well, I'm just saying, what I've been talking about today, top 10 WrestleMania ranking matches. I previewed WrestleMania 42 for both nights 1 and 2. Also recap Clippers and the Warriors, Magic and the 76ers. So a lot of information is going to go by, so it should be a hard one. All right. That's going to do it on JDB's Morning Cap. We will see you tomorrow, and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.